Hey everybody, it's been a little bit. Yeah, I know. I've been busy getting a few things done. Up ahead of me here, you see I have DrawPlus x8, and for the most part, really like the program. It's really neat. It provides some functionality that is really impressive for the price point. However, there are a few things, and I will go over them that will probably irritate the living fire out of some people, especially if you're used to some of the tools like in CorelDRAW or Illustrator. I do not have a workaround for some of these. Some of these I do. And we'll go ahead and get started with these. Again, this is not a bash against Serif or DrawPlus x8. The program is a pretty nice program. I've been using it for quite a while and everything else. There are some things, however, you do need to kind of watch for because sometimes things don't work as expected. One of the things is if you go to take a line and you convert it from a line with a stroke to a object. So, for example, if you're going to cut it out with a cutter or use like a laser cutter to cut this part out or whatever that you might be designing, it may have some unexpected results. And get ready to do some cleanup because I've seen a lot of programs do this, so I can't really slam Serif, but I would love Serif to really figure it out and clean it up some because some of the things it does is kind of weird. So let me go ahead and break this object apart here if I can. Let's see, yeah, we'll get rid of that. We can go ahead and just get that so I can see it. Alright, now first thing is your DrawPlus, when you get it, is going to have your line color and it's going to have this set to pixels. Okay, most of the time I design, unless it's for web, I don't use pixels, I use inches. It's easier for me to visualize that, especially when I'm trying to cut something out of vinyl or run it through an engraver or something like that. So I got mine set to inches. Now, I wish this could happen on the fly. So Serif, please let this happen on the fly if you can, because it will just make everybody's life a lot easier if you could, please. But to get this to go to inches, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to, I believe it's Tools, Options. Sorry about the clipping of the mic there, I just had to rub my face, unfortunately. Go to Layout and then Display, and right in here where it says Keep Line Width and Points, if that's checked and you click OK, this will go back to points. So you can make your line 3 points, 5 points, 7 points, whatever it is. Now that can be handy, but in this case I'm going to show you why I converted it. So I took it off so that way it will go to inches so I can better visualize it. So this is where you go to change this. Go ahead and cancel that. The reason why you might want to do this is because the object I clicked, it looks like it's doing a great big thick box, but it's not. It's actually a line with a stroke point on it, and you can see the stroke point right here is 0.107 of an inch. Reason why this is important is, let me go and move this out of the way and click that, and we'll make that some sort of color here so we can see it. Okay, when you click on it, you see that blue thing right there? That's the actual vector line. This outside of it is not the line. But if you was to right click on this and say Detaches New Object Line, okay, now you got two objects in here. You got the outer object now, and then where this was, see, you got the original line object, which we'll go ahead and delete that for just a second. But notice here, we'll zoom in by holding the control and using the wheel. See how it kicks this corner? Now if we go to our node tool, look how many nodes this thing popped in here. You do not need to describe a curve, Serif, with this many nodes. Wrong answer. There's just no need for it. No need at all. That's one thing I wish that you would fix, is please, you don't need this many nodes to describe this, and you don't need, this is supposed to be a straight line up here. I don't need, 3 nodes in the middle of these 2 nodes to describe that line. That's what I'm saying, guys. If you use that feature, to try to save a little bit of time, you might want to, be careful, because see, now I'm just kind of highlighting over the points and deleting them to straighten that line. Whoop, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Delete, there we go. See, now I have to do all this cleanup. I got to remove that node, and then I got to straighten it up and everything else. which may or may not be easier. So let's go ahead and revert back to what we had. There we go. So that's one thing I wish Serif would fix. The second thing is their contour tool. And this is the reason why I went to inches. Because if I'm trying to get roughly the same contour as that, now if I click back on that object, whoop, wrong one, there we go, 107. So, and I'm going to need about half that distance. So roughly mathematically in my head, that's 0.0535 inches if I can go that technical with it. So I'm just going to grab the old M over here, and your contour tool is found here. Now here's the thing I don't like, is this does not give you a preview. This is not dynamic. You've got to know what you're getting ready to get into before you do this tool, because there's no dynamics and everything else. You just got to undo and redo, undo and redo. So Serif, please get us a contour tool that might be even more interactive. That'd be awesome. It'll be even more awesome if we had a preview. I can deal with the box if we had a preview, so I can kind of visually see this. So, one way or the other, Serif, please. I'm going to see if I can add a 5 here. I don't know if it'll let me get that precise with this dialogue or not. See, this is why you need to do inches, because when you click exact measure, it won't let you put in points here. You got to put in inches. That's the other thing. I think if the designer is designing in points, this should read in points. If it's in inches, it should read in inches. So Serif, try to make this maybe adjustable. That'd be awesome. Now when I click on it, now I got my outline. And with it selected, I can choose whatever color I want. See, there we go. And it kind of looks similar to that. Not exactly, but it's similar. And it is an object that I can go ahead and move right now. See, it's an actual full object, which I do like that. I really do like that. I don't have to break a group apart to mess with the object. That's actually cool. Another thing I don't like, Serif, and this is just being honest, is your tool over here. Let's see, where is it? Not that one. It's right here. Not shape builder. It's underneath this one. Here we go. The envelope tool. Please, for the love of God, Serif, please let us have more than 4 points, and please let us be able to put this thing into a sharp point. Because there, like for example, I can't click here and pull. See, it's going to make it smooth. Which a lot of the time you might want a smooth arc. Hey, no problem. But there's times you might want points because there might be something you might be wanting to do. Guess what? You can't do it. And don't be fooled by coming over here to preset envelopes over here and checking them out. Say, okay, here's a point right here. Maybe I can use that. Look what happens to your shape. Let's zoom in. See, there's no third point here, and it's smoothing it. Sometimes you want a point. You want it to be, right there. Okay? So, Serif, please allow more than 4 points on an envelope. That'd be really, really a good direction. The second thing is try to be maybe like, I don't want to say be exactly like CorelDRAW, because I do like the way some things work in here. But please, 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 please do something about this. And again, please, 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 and this is where I was going to before I got a little sidetracked, please let us use another object for an envelope. That would be really cool. Because right now, that just ain't going to cut it. Now, I love the rendering and everything in this program, guys, so I'm not really slamming it. But again, there are some things that are just not, they're not the exact Corel killer for me. So I'm just letting you guys know, so that way if you guys are, maybe not wanting to renew Corel or for whatever reason, or Corel's too expensive, you're looking for maybe a cheaper option. Again, this is a really nice program. It does have some idiosyncrasies, and I'll do some more on it. And I'm not really slamming. I'm just letting you guys know these are the problems I see with it, in my personal opinion. And of course, I'll probably do another video showing you all the things I really love or like about it. Whoop, I didn't want that little dialogue to pop out. It thinks I need help. I probably do. The dimension tool. Please, for the love of God, will you please fix this damn tool? Because in CorelDRAW, I can click this thing, come over here. See, it's wanting to select an object. It's wanting to snap to an object, which is, I guess, is okay. But I don't want to snap to an object. See, it's wanting to snap to an object. Okay, if I want to know, okay, what's the distance between this pentagram here and that M, I got it. I mean, I can sit here and see, okay, it's so much. Okay, but at the same time, I was trying to do this, clean up this artwork and everything a little bit for a project. I tried to, let's zoom in here, get in here and say, okay, I want to go from where this border roughly is down to here. And now it's going to make a lie out of me. That's telling me it's 0.04 inches. But I couldn't do that before. It would not let me do it. It was like, no thank you. Now, I think the reason why it's letting me do it is because these are now objects. Nope, it's letting me do it now for some reason. Weird. This tool is hit and miss. Where in Corel, you can just put your little cursor and everything. So if you can allow us maybe up here in the context toolbar with this tool, Serif, to maybe, turn around and say, hey, do we want snapping to be involved or not? Even if you turn that snapping option off right there, it's still, see how the tool wants to find something to snap to? Please let us turn that off. Please let us turn that off, because that is annoying. And like I showed you right here, I couldn't get this to work for nothing, and now it's working. So please, if we can, that'd be awesome. Let's see, is there anything else real quick? No, but I will show something super quick that I do like. Let's go ahead and get rid of these objects real quick here, folks, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Like, for example, one of the things when I was working with Illustrator, it hurt even a computer that had pretty good muscles to it. Whoop, this is a border that I don't need, okay. And we'll go ahead and group these together. I like how that little group button shows up right there too, where I can kind of group and ungroup. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but oh, it's in white for some reason. I don't know why that happened. Anyway, this is going to look weird. What the heck? Alright, hold on. Let me ungroup this. There we go. Must have got. Oh, I must have still had that contour on there. There we go. Let's group this so it'll be easier. If you want to make this thing pop out in 3D, Illustrator had this functionality, and CorelDRAW does too. But I've set this up to 300 DPI, final render for this. And I like how they're doing this. See, if I go to Instant 3D, whoop, where do we go? Here we go. It ballooned up on me. See, it's kind of doing a weird refresh on this, but at the same time, we can put in a bevel, we can put in a lot of different things. We could put in a depth, we can do a texture, a material, the lights. There's a lot you can do with this. Excuse me. So, I mean, you could do quite a bit with this. Like, I see, I don't know, do I have a texture in here? Yeah, I'm not a texture, but a bevel. Let's bring that in a little bit, because it looks like, it really inflated. There we go. See, I can move it around. It takes a second. We can grab the light. There we go. And the reason why it's flickering like that, guys, is first of all, I am screen recording. Second of all, I do have this turned up, so when this finally does come back on my screen, it is at 300 DPI. The software comes at 96, so if you got kind of a lower end graphics card, or if you're using the onboard processor, you might want to leave it at 96, maybe have it finally export out at a higher res. But I mean, that's impressive. It's pretty quick, even with me using the screen recorder and everything else. But I mean, that's pretty neat, and you can instantly remove it. Go ahead and it's going to remember where everything was. Trying to get it back over here. It's trying to re-render everything that I've done. There we go. Now, the other thing I like is when you click on effects, look at all these effects you can do. A lot of these are the similar ones you can do in Illustrator, and a lot of them look very much like not really Corel Draw, I'm sorry, Photoshop. You could do an inner shadow, an outer glow, an inner glow, so you can turn on an inner glow to these things, and you can see it just faintly right there, but we can choose how opaque it is. We'll go ahead and crank this up. I'll do a lighten maybe, and we'll do maybe a white. We'll kick up the intensity a little bit. See, there we go. And it will scale the object and see. Now if we kind of click off and look in there, you now see that we got a glow effect around those letters. Again, it is acting a little jumpy because, again, I am working on this with screen recording. One final big push, Serif, that if you would please do, I know that you guys got a little bit different situation as far as in us. This program, guys, does do Pantone colors. The only problem is you got to know which Pantone color you're after. Even though it is a rough representation, but say like for example, if I'm wanting this to be a certain color, I have to run through the colors to find it. So you just can't go to swatches here and say, okay, I got a document swatch and I got a palette menu. We'll say, okay, I like to, import a palette. You can't do that unless you have that thing in a palette format already. You're not getting a palette of Pantones like you can in Corel Draw, for example, where I can just pull through and say, okay, here it is. The way to get your Pantones here, and I'll show you this real quick. We'll go ahead and click on, let's see, I don't want that. I want the actual center here. I think that's the object I want. I'll click on the fill here. Now, whoops, we'll go to color. We'll double click here. Come down here and say Pantone. We'll choose which book we want. See, I want that, what a lot of people refer to as the Chrysler Blue. I'm not sure if it's exactly it or not, but from what little bit I pulled on the internet, is 293C. See, I have to go through all that to get to that color. And I don't think it should be that way. I think it should be, hey, I can just pull it from here. Okay, when I get close, I can kind of hover over like I do with some of the others and say, okay, this is the color I want. But neither here nor there. But these are just a few of the things, little annoyances I find with the program. However, showstopper, not really. The envelope tool might be. I haven't really had to envelope a lot in a while. But for those of you who might have to use that distortion quite a bit, if just basic arcs won't do, you might be a little bit hurt. But as far as a lot of the other features, and I'll get into a lot more what I like about this program in the next video, but I just want to show you guys real quick what's really irritating me about the program. I did fix a couple of things like the points to inches thing. The contour tool, I use that a lot, so I wish they would really fix that. But we'll just hope and see. But my recommendation still is, if you guys are looking to kick it up from maybe something freebie up to something a little bit, where you might get a little bit better paid support and everything else, why not give Serif a try? I mean, it's not that expensive as far as an illustration program. I think I got mine on sale for a little less than $115, I think it was, because I had a coupon or something. I can't remember now. But anyways, folks, like I said, the takeaway here is just these are to show my annoyances and everything else. Maybe somebody else who has the program will agree, or maybe even if you have the program and you used it a while and know how to get around some of these, please let me know, because it would be nice to kind of pull off of your knowledge a little bit too, because I'm pretty smart with Corel Draw and some of the other ones, but Serif, I'll be honest, I'm still kind of green. I'm kind of a little rough around the edges. Alright, folks. Have a good one.